Hey there! So today I want to show to you how I use CrazyEgg as a tool to get more insights on my webpage. CrazyEgg is a great tool to collect qualitative data, which means it's like you're like watching one person at a time, for example. It's not like Google Analytics where you collect a lot of data and then deal with that. So we're gonna dive in today to see what snapshots are, where you can create heat maps and see where people click. I'm gonna show to you recordings that are done by CrazyEgg. And finally, I quickly talk about A/B testing, which I will not go too much in depth since it's a topic for itself. So enjoy. So let me show you how I use CrazyEgg to improve my portfolio. This is like the landing screen where you go after logging in. You can see on the left hand side we have snapshots, we have recordings, we have A/B testing and errors. Let's go through it step by step. As you can see, I already set up a couple of snapshots. What are snapshots? It's like you wire up your the page you wanna keep an eye on. And every single page, in fact, as a desktop device and mobile device I picked. You can also use tablet. That means if someone accessing your website with a tablet, this is gonna be recorded too. But since I ran kind of out of space on my plan, I limited it to desktop and mobile. Here you can see the amount of visits captured. You can see past sessions which were recorded. Now let's dive right into this one. Let's have a look what we can see. Okay. Here we go. So why do I have a past one and a new one? There's a reason for it. The thing is, once you change your website, or once you change your website, you need to also change the screenshots. Why? Because otherwise you're gonna mix up the information you collected. I mean, if there was an essential change on your page, it's good to make a new screenshot and start the recordings from zero, because otherwise you're gonna have an overlap. You're not gonna see if you could if the error got better, for example. If with the old one I observed I have an error, I solved it, and I want now to observe it got better, I need to make a new screenshot so I don't have them mixing up the data. So we can see here the median page load, slowest page load, rage clicks, 0, so it's pretty good. We have one dead click, we can look into this. Page bounces, what's a bounce? A bounce is if someone goes on your page and he stays there like, I don't know, 2 seconds and he goes back. So that's an indicator. Usually if in your search engine you pay for tags, people click on it and they go and they come to your page and they get something completely than what they expect. That's a page bounce. And if you do SEO for search machines, this is gonna be penalized like very hard. So this is something to keep in mind. In our case, it's not that much of an issue. Yeah. So you can see here, we are on the heat map here. You can see where people clicked. You can see they use quite a lot this navigation bar on top. They used here the read about me, which was surprising to me, to be honest. Here we already can see the dead click, where someone clicked here. We don't know why. We can now evaluate, is this a problem, isn't it a problem? I think it's not a problem because probably he clicked here by accident. He didn't expect any action to happen. But it gets interesting when people click somewhere and expect something to happen and nothing happens. But in my case, my web page is already quite, I put quite some work in to make it very smooth, the interaction on it, so we will not find too many things. You can see, okay, the people click here. They realize that you can click here on this to go to the project. I think if you click on the image, you cannot go to the project. So this is also good to see that no one clicks by accident on the images. We can somehow see that people really go for those case studies. I mean, these are company cases I have here. And I already observed this before, like people somehow prefer to see the case studies from university, like what I thought are the boring university stuff, but it's good to know. Here on the left hand side, we can see how many people scrolled, how far down. So we can see that 28% of the people got until here, 15% until here, and finally only 4% arrived at the very bottom of the page. And then you can see the most popular spots. It's like here when the page is loading, I guess. And then, yeah, it decreases the more you go down. You have a scroll map here. Same here, you can see where people scroll. These are like where most of people go here, but where it gets more wide. You can see here in this legend. And yeah, only 6% go until the very bottom. If I would have an e-commerce and I would, for example, say the subscribe to my email list, or it depends on what goals you have for your web page, and I put this all the way on the bottom, then this is very crucial to me, how many people scroll down all the way. In my case, I only want the people to click on my projects here. So it's absolutely fine that not everyone goes all the way down, and it's not an issue. Confetti, here we can see again where people clicked. In general, here we have a dead click. You can see here as before on the heat map, yeah, the dots looks fine to me. Okay, now let's get into the recordings. That's also really awesome. CrazyEgg records when people go on your webpage. It makes a recording of what people see, so this is super awesome. It's like sitting behind someone using your webpage. It's like proper testing, actually. Although here also we have to take in consideration that we actually don't know how CrazyEgg records sessions. So sometimes it's a bit hard to interpret those things. On the second problem here is we cannot filter, like we don't know whose recording we are watching. If I have a specific user group I want to make research about, like in our case, it's a web portfolio for being hired. Maybe a job recruiters is what I want to investigate. I have no chance here to see if this was my grandmother visiting my portfolio or if it's a job recruiter. So here we can see we have like 19 recordings in total, 11 of them unwatched. You will see once they stack a bit up, you will not manage to watch all the recordings. It's like not necessary. Here you get some tags where it shows you interesting things. So here, for example, you can see the dead click that we saw before on the web page. So now we can investigate like, okay, what happened here that we had a dead click. Here we can see the time the person accessed it, the browser he used, how many pages he visited, and where he was located. What's interesting here is to see the events. So we could see, okay, the dead clicks right at the beginning. We could jump right into it, or maybe sometimes you see it's at the very end of the session, so you go straight there to what's interesting to you. You can see now a person using our webpage. It's like super valuable. Now we can see he clicked here. I think it was accident. Scrolls down. Okay, checks this stuff out. And then looks basically at the web page. So I don't think there's much more. Here we can see like, okay, click. Okay, here it goes to the about page. Now we can see how he explores the about page. If he maybe clicks somewhere and expects something to happen, checks out the project. Okay, again, the about me. Now nothing happens, backgrounded. And yeah, that's it. So this can be super insightful. As said, my webpage is, I think, now relatively bulletproof. Like, there's not much that can go wrong when visiting it. But at the very beginning, definitely is a awesome tool to figure out the biggest issues and to cope with them. And then finally, we have A/B testing here. I can maybe show you, make an example here. First off, what is A/B testing? A/B testing is if I show half of the users maybe this one page and the other half of the users a different version of the same page. And then I can like measure, yeah, this goes not too far. Like here, Yeah, I already set one up to try it out. Like, it's super easy with CrazyEgg. You don't even need to be coding. You can just change things like color, font, and a lot of things you can change without coding inside the browser here. And what happens then is then that CrazyEgg's gonna, when people visit your webpage, they're gonna see two versions. Like, one group's gonna see one version of your webpage, the other group's gonna see the other version of the webpage. If you now, example, you think like, okay, if the color of, in my case, I have this project. If I say now, okay, the color, more people gonna click on this project if I make it red instead of orange. Maybe before it was orange, now I change it to red. Then I can make A/B testing to see if it really improves the people clicking on the red color than the orange color. And with A/B testing, you can see if it really made a difference. And for this, CrazyEgg is really cool. Hey, so I hope you had fun watching the video and you learned one or two things. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like those videos. And if you have any question, post them under the video. I'm very responsive and gonna come back on it. And see you in the next video.